Two nerds, a joke, and a video podcast. What could possibly go wrong with that? It's Two Nerds and a Joke with Robert and Ernie.
Thank you, disembodied hot girl voice. This is Two Nerds and a Joke with Robert and Ernie. I am Ernie. That's Robert.
I'm Robert, yes.
Yeah.
Every day?
Some days.
Most days.
So, we just finished the podcast. We're still here at DocuBay 94. Greatest
Green screen, you can tell.
comic book store ever. I'm going to make some purchases tonight.
He is.
Yes.
But we are here to talk about...
But we wanted to do an extra, for you, the fans who couldn't get enough of us live.
Yes. A shorter clip.
Shorter.
Shorter is good. People like that.
We're going to talk about being fans.
Yes. Fandoms.
Fandoms.
Yes.
Nerds, geeks.
Yes. So we do need to explain our definitions of nerd and geek for this concept.
Yes. Before me growing up, if you call someone a nerd, it was derogatory.
Yes.
Apparently something happened in the millennials, the 2000s.
Yeah, something like that.
Where people just said, you know what? I'm just going to take the word nerd, and now...
I own it.
I own it.
It's me.
It's me.
Geeks is still kind of out there on the fringe. You don't hear it as often.
No.
Everything's called
You hear,
nerd.
I'm geeking out.
Yeah, but just not as often.
Geeky.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's just not as big. So...
Talk nerdy to me.
Talk nerdy to me. There you go. So here's what I found. This is interesting. Pop culture has switched these two to what they actually mean to what they currently mean.
Yes.
So a nerd definition, of course, is someone who's deep into the sciences. Geek is us, obsessed about fantasy. However, there's more. You can look up the definitions. Blah blah. We don't care. Go look it up and find out in more detail. We've done this topic before, so we're not going to go into it. But for our purposes, for this conversation, nerds, we're going to use that term as obsessed with something not based in reality. Geek, for our purposes, is going to be someone who's obsessed with things that are based in reality. Sciences.
Computer geek.
Computers. Things like that.
Technology geek.
Yes. So those are the two.
Car geek.
Yes.
Which is a thing.
Which is yeah.
That is
I
a
see
thing.
that. A
Car
mechanic,
geek.
yeah. People who geek out
People
over
who
new
geek
cars
out over,
and
like,
engines and
the
this
inner
one's RPM.
workings.
Yeah. So those are your two topics. They're two groups.
Yeah.
Your nerds and your geeks. Now, the third group, of course, which we don't really talk about on our podcast, are the everyday people. That are neither of those categories.
Mm.
They may like it a little bit,
Mhm.
but aren't really obsessive.
They're not the ones standing in line to see, the actor who played Boba Fett.
Yes, or who has to be there at every car show in case they reveal the rare,
Latest,
either the latest or the specific old variation of one engine that was once used in one car. Nerds and geeks, those are those guys. They're obsessed. That's the key. They're obsessed.
It's key demographics for most businesses.
Yes. So the obsessed two groups is where you start. So you start your nerds and your geeks. You have your two groups.
Yes.
Within both of those groups, you have the question.
Excuse me, I'm not yawning because I'm bored.
He's
Just
yawning
lack of oxygen.
Yes, he's trying to think. You see.
I'm trying to think.
He's coming up
He's
with
pulling
thoughts.
a lot of stuff there.
Yes. So you then have your specific fandoms. They're dying outside.
Wow.
The car geeks are going wild.
Yeah, the car geeks.
So you have your specific fandoms.
Yes.
So for you, you have two fandoms that I'd say you'd probably be a part of in your mind, right?
Go on.
Star Wars
Yes.
and DC.
Yes.
Those are two big fandoms.
Those are two big things. They've been big parts of my life.
Now, it's a broad topic for both.
Yes.
Are you a fandom for the whole thing? Are you a fandom for a specific character? We don't need to go into that.
No.
But those are your fandoms.
Yes.
And here's another term we're going to use, down the rabbit hole. Me saying that he's a fan of, he's in the fandom of Star Wars is true. We went down the rabbit hole, I say, well, he's a fan of specific characters and stories and plotlines within Star Wars.
Yes.
He's a huge Darth Vader fan. That's going down the rabbit hole. We're not going to do that because that's going to take forever.
Yeah, that's too long.
For me, realistically, I'm kind of a little bit on both sides. Do you have a geek, a real-world based obsession?
I would have to say it'd have to be technology. Computers, electronics, gadgets, things like that.
Which is the same for me, actually. I'm a geek on the computer side. I love technology. I love experimenting with stuff. Not in the same way you do, but different ways. But within that fandom, if you will, of computers, I also am a writer, so I write about that. And that's real world that I'm writing, but I'm writing about fantasy, so that kind of crosses both. What is wrong with you tonight?
I don't know.
You need a nap.
I do.
So the fantasy for me is kind of weird. It really depends on my mood. You've got two. Those are your two. But you've...
But I enjoy a good movie, don't get me wrong.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
sometimes, like, I've been dying to see this movie, but they're only showing it all the way in Miami.
What?
Colossal.
Oh,
It's the only screen in Florida that's showing
weird.
it.
That's weird. It's definitely weird.
I want to see it. It's weird, it's unique, and sometimes you just want to see something new and different.
Fair enough.
And who knew that at one point in time, making a movie was supposed to be about originality, something different, something
New.
thought-provoking, something new. And that's not it anymore.
No.
It's like, what worked last time? Okay, let's just do it again. That's why there's 8 Fast and Furious.
So, let me ask you, because internally I feel myself as a dabbler.
Okay.
Do you see me obsessing over anything in the fantasy, in the nerd realm?
Pirates.
Really?
Which, the Pirates of the Caribbean,
Really?
the last movie,
Yeah.
Stranger Tides,
Yes.
most expensive movie to make.
So what do you...
$340 million.
It was a good movie.
A third of it went to Johnny Depp.
Well, of course it did. So what would you feel if you were me, if you viewing me would be my obsessive nerd?
Yeah,
Do you
dude,
think I have one? I'm a dabbler, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like your foam fighting thing, your LARPing thing, your pirate thing.
Yeah, I'm a little bit all over. So I don't know if I'm defined as a true nerd. I'm a nerd about being a nerd, I guess. I'm the broadest you can get. I enjoy everything nerd, so I'm a nerd about nerd. I don't know. So the question is, of course, it came up in a conversation we had today with all these fandoms and this nerd. We're going to focus on the nerd because the geeks is a different group and we're not as familiar with all of those.
I felt kind of bad during that conversation, actually.
About yourself?
Yeah.
Really?
Character flaws?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, but here's the... We're going to stay away from that part of it. You got your fandom.
Right.
Star Wars fandom, for example. But you're also a fan of something that's the opposite. A counter world. Easiest one, of course, is Marvel versus DC, as he falls asleep on me. Marvel versus DC. Same world, different points of view on the reality of this fake world. The Star Wars, you'd almost have to go, what? I don't even know if there is a opposing view of Star Wars.
Star Trek?
Maybe, okay. Star Wars versus Star Trek. They have magic, we don't, blah, blah, blah. Fine, fair enough.
A lot of talking in Star Trek.
Right, not as much talking in Star Wars. So those can be competition as well. What happens to those...
What is it?
the cartoon.
Yes.
Yes,
College
nerds.
humor.
You guys are geeks and nerds, and yes.
It was, I know the thing for Star Trek is, be nice to Data.
Yes.
And what was it? Don't aliens are racist or something?
Yeah,
like
something like that. It's hilarious.
It's
If you haven't seen it,
College humor.
Star Trek
versus Star Wars.
It's hilarious. It's really funny.
Perfect.
It's awesome. So if I'm a fan of both of those,
Go on.
right? Let's say I'm a fan.
Well,
Hold on. I'm a fan of Marvel and DC, for example. I like them both for different reasons. So I could technically, personally, fit into both fan pools. So if you're in a Star Wars fan pool, you're a pretty large base. There's millions of people who are into Star Wars. There's also could be lots of people who are into Star Trek. So if you're in one or other of those pools, you have all those friends, if you will. You're in those circles, right? Now you're in a third circle, kind of like a Venn diagram.
A what?
You know, Venn diagram. The circle and circle.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
Venn
yes,
diagram.
yes.
You're in that third circle where you're touching each.
I'll each of one. Okay.
You're touching the two others. So now what are you? That puts you into a third group.
Oh, see, that's the thing. I think
Smaller
I think
group.
the third groups are hipsters.
See, but I like both Marvel and DC, for example.
Hipsters.
Does that make me a hipster nerd?
They're the ones that abbreviate everything. Instead of saying Game of Thrones, they're GOT.
No, those are obsessive.
They're hanging out
those
at
are.
Starbucks
But are those real nerds?
for the
then?
Wii Fi-Fi.
Are the free Wi-Fi? Free Wi-Fi.
The free Wi-Fi.
Your tongue does work.
La,
I approve. So wait, if you use slang terms like GOT,
Okay.
does that make you a...
Or like you say, someone did that to me the other night, said SNG. And I'm like, what is that? SNG? Like, Captain Picard is doing a huge facepalm right now. Star Trek Next Generation. I'm like
It shouldn't be STNG?
That's what I didn't want to do that.
Okay,
I don't want to be that guy.
Wait, should it be STNG? Because then you really are putting yourself in the pool there. So is that a fandom person, like deep in the weeds, or is that a hipster who thinks they're in the fandom but really isn't? They're just trying to sound cool.
It's the same people that are like.
That's a good question.
They like Game of Thrones, and then they want to throw in the fact, well, I read the books. Well, I don't want to read those books.
Totally different fandoms.
Or
by the way.
the Hobbits.
Yes,
like the Hobbits.
Book versus movie.
Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much grief I got when I said, yeah, I like the Lord of the Rings. Did you read the books? Well, yeah, I read the books, but I like the movies better than I like the books.
You can't do that. The
I'm
book
not allowed
people.
to do that.
Yeah.
The book people. Oh my god.
Yeah. Or a bad example.
What's the bad example?
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh,
it's all abysmal. Oh no, let's go for a better example than that. Twilight.
Oh, awful.
Okay. Was the movies better than the books though?
I don't know. I didn't see either.
It doesn't matter.
I didn't see
it. Doesn't matter. Or okay.
It's like the Divergent and Allegiant and.
Well, those are all tween books though. That's the tween
what's the
audience.
other one? The Maze Runners.
Yes, those are all tween books. Those are all the 14 to 18-year-olds who are watching.
What's the other one?
Well,
Well, there's your Harry Potter ones.
But Harry Potter, okay, good. There's perfect. Harry Potter, books and movies.
I read the book long ago.
Before the movies came out.
And I was like, all right, I get it. Like, it's an easy read.
And it's good. It's a good story.
And they kept me going through it like a Dan Brown book. It kept me going.
Ooh, nice pull.
Ah, you like that, huh?
Yeah, I like a Dan Brown book, yeah.
So I flipped through it like, I would say 97, I think I read Harry
And then
Potter.
the movies came out, what, 2000s?
In the 2000s.
So it's like, okay, you read the book long ago, relatively speaking, years ago.
Yeah.
Now the movies come out.
And then I'm watching the movie, and I couldn't understand, like, half of what the kids were saying in the movies. I don't know, maybe the volume was set too loud. I was like, what did you just say? What?
It's also the accent.
The accent was really
Ron
thick.
Weasley was kind of a thick accent.
Yeah.
Because he's from the suburbs or something.
So, like, that, the experience for me in the movies to see Harry Potter...
No?
No.
Didn't work for you?
No.
You like the books better then?
Yeah, if I had to choose, I would like the books better. But I'm not. if you tell me that you like the movies, I'll be like, "Oh, did you read the books?"
Right.
Like, I hold you accountable to that.
Here's the thing with the Potter series of stuff, is that the people who watch the movies, also a lot of them read the books as well and like both for different reasons. You can like both and be okay in that universe.
Like, I didn't like the fact that they were making the second movie. And everyone was running around saying, "Oh, I read this book came out, and it already says what this movie's going to be about." But it still made bank. People still went to go see it,
which is another point. Dan Brown.
Oh my gosh! I just watched.
Which one?
The last one, Inferno.
Oh, what'd you think?
Okay.
I thought it was good myself personally.
It was not terrible.
If you read the books,
I read the books.
I like the books. It stands up, right? It's the books on the film. It's books on film. It's literally what it is. With a few divergence, to use your word.
Well, I read Angels and Demons first.
Okay.
And then I read Da Vinci Code.
You read them.
And then I read, Inferno.
Okay. So you read them in order.
Read them in order. Yeah. The movies came out, Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, and now Inferno.
But they didn't do, if I remember correctly, and they didn't really take it as one storyline, really.
No.
So they didn't mess it up as far as, well, this is a prequel, whatever.
Right.
So, whatever.
They're just telling a story for telling a story's sake.
Right. It's like it's a murder mystery.
Yeah.
It just is. So there isn't an overarching story you have to worry about.
No.
Not per se.
You don't
New
have,
girl.
It's not like the Bourne books.
Yeah.
Or what's the other guy? The other guy that's like Bourne, who's Tom Cruise. Reacher.
Preacher.
Reacher. Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher. Those
are
books
too.
Yeah. So again, the question though becomes: you're going into all these little subcategories. How far down these subcategories? You're a fan of this and this, and you like the books and the movie. Do you create a vacuum for yourself?
You become what? As a geek or a nerd at that point?
You're still a nerd because it's all fantasy based, but you're in this subcategory of multiple fandoms. And I've seen their posts, like on Pinterest and stuff.
Yeah.
The multiple fandoms.
Yeah.
Like the T-shirt. I loved Obi-Wan when he was in the movie with Khan, and he had that droid Data.
That's on a T-shirt?
Yeah. And it's like, no! Oh, or no. When Obi-Wan, with his robot Data, won the Quidditch Cup.
Oh my gosh, it's smashing a ball.
It irritates everybody.
That's brutal.
It irritates everybody. But if you're a fan of all those things,
then you can enjoy it.
Then you're going to enjoy it. But how many people are out there? So the question of the day for you guys is...
The other thing is, it's not really fair because I do enjoy Star Trek. Because and I think we spoke about this before.
Yes.
Star Trek was more accessible.
Yes.
It was on TV.
Yeah.
It was in cartoons.
It's easy.
It was books.
Yeah.
Star Wars only came out 3 movies.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff. And the Christmas special.
We don't talk about it. Even though this should be an invite to a lucky viewer for our Patreon account.
Oh,
Whoever donates the most should watch the holiday special with us.
Ooh. So invite.
Yes.
If you give to our Patreon account,
yes,
we will come within reason to where you are.
Well, yeah, because we're kind of restricted.
We have lives,
yes. jobs,
children.
I have a child.
I have 2. Children collectively. So Patreon us.
Yeah.
Let us know how many fandoms do you fit into, and do you feel yourself excluded?
Because I do. I still do.
Because you're multiple fandoms.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, do I consider myself a nerd or geek? I identify myself more with it being a nerd.
Yeah. Most people these days that like
and before
stuff,
that used to be derogatory.
Yeah.
I don't know. You call someone a nerd. Oh, shoot, I'll show you nerd.
Yeah, right.
And you're not
pull out my nerd. Yeah. The violent nerd. You gotta love that. So Patreon us.
Yes.
Let us know what you think about fandoms and being a nerd and how that works into your world. Well, that's another topic. Let us know. Like us, love us. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, all the good stuff. And please like us and love us on Instagram. I know you guys are out there, and we are big fans of Instagrammers. Thank you guys so much.
Also, we do a short.
Yes.
BEQA.
BEQA.
I love it.
I think it's a great thing. We do it on the Two Nerds channel, so
yes.
You don't even have to go anywhere.
No.
You subscribe to Two Nerds channel, so subscribe. You'll see BEQA. We're doing a little thing. We're talking Two Nerds Presents, where it's going to be us talking about whatever. It may not be nerd related, but we're presenting it as a topic we found interest. BEQA.
And most of the time, it's in the Sanctum Sanctorum.
His house. Yeah, it's a fantastic view.
It's a great view.
Oh, it's fantastic. All right, guys, if you will, Ernie.
Peace out.
There isn't a social media site that these two don't love, so come visit them. Two Nerds and a Joke on YouTube, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, and on iTunes.